It's going to be a beautiful day in Promised Land.
Right. It was raining this morning. We had a good rain during the night, and it just was making me think of all the songs that include the words rain, and probably my favorite one is
Raindrop.
Keep Falling on My Mind. But I like Kentucky Rain by Elvis Presley. That's my favorite song that it has rain.
Kentucky Rain, yeah.
It's a rainy day. And the...
Like raindrops all over the way, whatever you call it.
And a rainy day and rainy night in Georgia. And I feel like it's raining all over.
In Georgia.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, today...
I don't know the words, you know.
I got to have them in front of me and I can sing them. But a couple of things I want...
Shaving this morning. I got you. What now?
Today is... You ever had Nutella, that chocolate type of butter, peanut butter? Well, today is Nutella Day. Today is Wear Red Day, so I have my soup coat on and I've got a red bandana in my pocket. So today is Wear Red Day, and today is Bubble Gum Day. All right, here comes Michael. Good morning. You're on today in L.A.?
Hey, morning.
All right, let me get your dad back on. Hang on just a minute. Let's see. I've got you, Mike. Let's get your daddy.
For sunrise.
Here we go. Do I have both of you?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, I'm here.
Can you hear me? Great. We have Michael calling. Michael's calling from Grayton Beach, and his dad, Mike, is calling from Panama City Beach. So they're the Florida boys this morning.
That's right.
Yeah, when you have a toy cable security system and pit bulls and Doberman Pinschers, and you also have a security guard on Crow Hill.
Yep.
You can go to the beach from time to time.
That's right. And
Yeah.
landmine.
Yeah.
So.
But I rode by your place yesterday, and you got a lot of junk in your backyard, man. You better clean up. Your wife's going to want you to clean up this weekend. Another thing, you're starting your planting season. I'm talking to the farm.
On the forest.
Yeah, on the bars, he's going to have to get his farm equipment ready today. You gonna plant this weekend, farm?
No, it's gonna be too wet. But I'm about chomping at the bit to do it.
Right now, is it raining and pouring right now?
It's kind of stopped, but it rained pretty good early in the morning. I woke up about 4:15 to get my notes ready for today, and I fixed Jody a cup of coffee and made her some tuna fish for lunch today. But I prepared my notes, but it came pretty good rain. I don't know how much. But it's kind of stopped now.
Do you make good tuna salad?
I think I do. We put a little bit of, I chop up a green apple, part of a green apple, chop it up real fine, and put a little bit of sweet pickle relish and just a touch of mayonnaise and stir it up. That's how we make our tuna.
Do you what kind of pickles do you use? Do you use sweet pickles?
Sweet.
Pickles.
Yeah, sweet pickles, but I want to try that Duke's mayonnaise. I use Hellman's. My wife.
I love Duke's mayonnaise. Now, we just love Duke's mayonnaise at our house. I'm telling you. It makes the best banana sandwich. I'm talking to one of my good friends from over in Columbus, Georgia yesterday, and he was talking about making a banana sandwich, and I said, man, make sure you use Duke's mayonnaise. He said, I wouldn't do it with any other mayonnaise than Duke's mayonnaise.
Well, Mike, were you able to get your camp stew yesterday from the Salvation Army?
All 10 quarts.
Okay, though.
And a lot of my friends will be probably having it for lunch today. But I'm telling you, it's as good a camp stew as you'll find anywhere in the world. I'm telling you, it's wonderful.
Yeah, and I know, I want to thank Kim May and Carter Sanders and all the people who did that. It's a worthy cause, and they had a great turnout yesterday morning of people helping them can them, so to speak. And
yeah, they told me that you had already been by. And
yeah.
How many containers did you fill?
Well, I don't know. I couldn't keep count, but Jimmy Messick was on my table, and there were about 4 or 5 girls.
Claus. You mean Santa Claus?
Santa Claus. Santa Claus was there. Yes, he was.
Yeah, well, that's great, the Santa Claus. Oh, Jimmy does a great job. He is a good-looking Santa. You know that?
Pretty good. I mean, as far as Santa Claus looks, but but he, they had several tables going, and you had two people dipping, and one person putting on lids, the other one sealing the lids and boxing, and it was like clockwork. I think they were real tickled with the turnout, and I'm sure they sold out. But it was a worthy cause, and I did like you did, Mike. I took and followed your suit. I went on a Goodwill tour and gave mine away like you did yours. So, but anyway.
Now, wait a minute now. Don't get me wrong. Now, I had 10. I took home probably 5.
Okay. Well, I didn't get as many as you did, but anyway.
I'll tell you what,
if you're going to give to a cause, it's always good to give to a cause that gives back to you, and that's what they do with all those sports of Kansas City.
Yeah, what you got, Mike? Michael?
A huge night for Troy basketball. Troy has lost 8 straight times to Georgia Southern in basketball, which is hard to believe. It's not like Georgia Southern is some basketball powerhouse, but I'd say a must-win tonight to break that streak. Of course, I'll have to play him again tomorrow, but Coach Cross has won every game at home this season, and the team's got a lot more confidence there. Hopefully they'll find a way to win tonight.
What I have, Michael, we're on a 3-game winning streak. We're at 500. We're holding our opponents to 67 points a game. That's the third lowest or the third best in the Sun Belt Conference. Georgia Southern is 5-5 in the conference, 11-8 overall. Of course, Troy's 3-5 in the conference. We're at 500 at 9-9. Tip-off tonight at 6 o'clock, and tomorrow we host them Saturday at 4 p.m. So good luck to Coach Cross and the Trojans. And
you told us yesterday how many people can go to that game. And if you're a season ticket holder, I don't think you have any problem getting into the game.
I'm not sure about Troy State basketball, but I know what the baseball and softball limits are. And, the women are at the top of the conference with an overall record of 11-4. The women are on a 7-game winning streak. They're 7-1 in the conference. They're playing Georgia Southern at Statesboro, and they're 3-5 in the conference, and their tip-off is Friday at 5 o'clock, today at 5 over there in Georgia, and Saturday at 3. And the Lady Trojans are averaging 85 points a game.
Oh, man.
Wow.
They're up and down the court. And
Troy right now is a slight favorite in Vegas. They're a 1.5-point favorite tonight at home against Georgia Southern.
I predict we're going to sweep them. That's my prediction.
Of course, they're playing well, like you said. They're on a 3-game. I thought it was more than 3 games, but it's just 3 games.
Yeah, well, it's 6 games in a row at home. I believe that's correct. But we're on a 3-game winning streak overall. And a couple of other things that I wanted to mention. Of course, Alabama has got a big test. They travel to number 18 Missouri, who's playing well. That tip-off is tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. Of course, Alabama is 15-4 overall with a 10-0 conference record. Auburn hosts Ole Miss at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. And, Michael, I was talking to your daddy earlier of these big names. Michigan State, this is men's basketball. Michigan State, Duke, North Carolina, and Kentucky are not in the top 25.
Yeah.
Kansas is at number 23. That is rare. And the Southeastern Conference, of course, Alabama's at number 10. Tennessee 11, Missouri 18, and Florida's at 22. So, that's some college basketball.
While we were speaking, I'm gonna make cinnamon toast. It's the easiest thing in the world to make, and it is delicious. Of course, you take a loaf of bread and put 6 layers out, and then you put your spread each piece of bread with cinnamon, and then you come back and you do the sweetener. You put sweetener on it on each slice of bread, and then you put it in the oven, and the oven at oh gosh, you just put it in there and bake, and it makes delicious cinnamon.
What kind of sweetener do you use, Mike?
I just use regular sweetener. It doesn't matter either one. But of course, you got your you wait. Some people wait till it browns, and
Yes, sir.
of course it's gonna on broils. It's gonna take just about a minute, and you've got a good toast already.
Yes, sir.
So football news, Will Muschamp, the former South Carolina head coach, Florida head coach, is now a defensive analyst in Athens for Kirby Smart. So two really good friends will be coaching together in Athens. I would imagine Muschamp's going to do this for a few years, then maybe try to get back into coaching somewhere, probably at a smaller level. I think to be a head coach. I think you'll see him get another Power 5 job. Also official yesterday, great news from Troy University. I was so excited to see this. I know you'll be happy to hear this, Dad. Gary Banks, the former Troy Braves receivers coach at Troy.
Wow. He played a little bit for the Chargers.
Where's Gary been? He's one of the finest young men that's ever played for Troy.
I can't wait to see him.
He was the head coach in Butler at his former hospital.
Right. Isn't he from Mississippi, or is he from Mississippi?
He's from Butler, Alabama.
Yeah. Okay, Gary Banks. Also, when you talk about the Muschamps, his nephew, Robert Muschamp, who played at Auburn, has been hired, and he also coached at Tennessee under Pruitt. He's been hired at Georgia in the support staff as well. So Robert Muschamp, who played at Auburn, will be in Georgia as well. But that's great news for Gary Banks. And
I'll get some more information on Banks. Banks had worked with Coach Lindsey before at Spain Park.
Yeah.
He's coming off being the head football coach, baseball coach, and athletic director at Choctaw County High School in Butler, Alabama. He also was the offensive coordinator, wide receivers coach at Foley High School for 4 seasons before that. He coached at Miles College for a little while. And, of course, the story with Banks is always interesting. He played minor league baseball for 3 years before he came to Troy. And then, of course, had great success at Troy, and then later on played in the NFL for the Chargers for 3 seasons.
I guess where he did his internship teaching. He was a Troy University grad. Guess where he did his intern student teaching?
Charles Henderson Middle School.
Charles Henderson Middle School under Forrest Lee. Gary Banks. He had a song out, Mississippi Queen. I saw him sing it one time. He was just cutting up. But I'm so proud for Gary.
Oh, yeah, it is. I know he is on cloud 9. You just look at it. He's a high school coach going to be a college coach.
Yeah.
And it's just like day and night as far as having to go out and recruit every day and get on the phone and with recruits every day. And, there's no question about it. Recruiting is about 65, 75% of it, don't you think?
Well, I'm going to claim Zach Etheridge, too. So, wow.
Yeah, you gotta be excited about these hires. Alpo coming back, great recruiter. Of course, he coached in West Virginia and Auburn past 2 seasons. Now back at Troy, and then Gary Banks, I think, will be an exciting hire for Troy fans. And then Luke
going to be a tough.
One
They
thing
got some
about
tough.
Coach Lindsey that I
gonna
really admire is, he didn't go out and get a bunch of strangers. He went out and got a lot of guys that have that is cohesive to his program and they're guys that have been a part of his coaching career. He's gone out and got guys he already knows a lot about. He don't have to wait to find out.
One thing I want to interject and kind of go back to that Georgia. They opened up with Clemson, and Michael in the paper, C.J. Spiller was hired as running backs coach at Clemson. Also, Tony Elliott has gotten a pay raise. He's making over $2 million a year. Venables is making $2.4 million a year. They have 7 other assistant coaches who are making over $500,000 a year. So, college football.
Makes me wonder who the big boosters are at Clemson.
Well, they have continuity in their coaching staff, and they've had the same offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator for years and years, and that's why they're one of the premier programs in the state. And as a tribute to Coach Saban, in the nation, it's like Coach Saban has to replace his coaching staff just about every year. And Paul Feinbaum, I read an article today in the paper on Alabama.com. He complimented Coach Saban. He said, college football is playing checkers. He said, Coach Saban is playing chess. No, he's playing 3D dimensional chess. So that's a big compliment to Coach Saban. But this college football pay scale is unbelievable, especially for the big boys.
Of course, I forgot to mention this. Gary Banks is known for the miracle of Murfreesboro. He called the game-winning touchdown with 14 seconds left. Mike Amos and Michael Amos had left the stadium and started driving back when we heard Troy start making the comeback on the radio, and I think made it back to the stadium just in time to watch the very end, didn't we, Doug?
Wow.
I remember that well. I may get my cinnamon toast right now as we speak in my kitchen at the beach.
I didn't know we had a cooking show this morning.
I'm sorry, none of y'all going to be able to partake of it but me.
Hey, now I would love to have a kitchen in here and do a kitchen show like Justin was on.
Dad's not telling. His kitchen is looking over the Gulf of Mexico. You feel like you're in the water while you cook.
Wow.
Pretty crazy.
Wow.
So I set my toast in the oven, my bread toast oven, and I'm gonna actually cook it on broil. I'm not going to bake it. I want to eat it fast, so I'm going to cook it on broil, and I'll turn it on for the fry.
I'm sure mom's enjoying this conversation.
Right.
She's still in bed asleep.
Still. Hey, I was going to give you the high school basketball update on Monday. Excuse me. Let's take that back. The Charles Henderson High School boys this Wednesday will play against Andalusia at 6 o'clock. The winner will play Greenville Friday. The girls will host the area championship Thursday at 5 o'clock. They're going to play the winner of Greenville and Andalusia. So both the boys and girls are in the area playoffs, and good luck to them. I think Pike County will host someone that next week. It's going to be either Wednesday or Thursday, and we'll have that information to you next week. Just wanted to throw that out there as well. Of course,
it looks like if Charles Henderson can win, they're going to have to beat Greenville. Didn't Coach Branson said they've lost to Greenville 3 times this year?
Yeah. What that is, if Charles Henderson can beat Andalusia and they go to Greenville, win or lose, they'll play one more game. If you lose that one, you're out. So when you go to the area championship to play for the and it's to see who's the winner of the area, the runner-up and the loser will continue in the state playoffs. But then it's one and done. So if Charles Henderson beats Greenville, I think they'll host the next week. if they lose to Greenville, Charles Henderson will travel somewhere, then Greenville will host someone else. So
yeah, here's some updated rankings. Here's some updated rankings in Class 7A. You got Vestavia Hills 24-3. They're the number one team in 7A. Local teams that are ranked, you got Enterprise right down the road. They're on Troy Cable. Enterprise comes in at number 10, 17-6. Other teams in our area that are ranked. I'll talk about Mountain Brook. I've got Mountain Brook's down to 6A now, so they're number 2 in 6A, 22-6. Other local teams of interest, Eufaula's 23-4.
wow.
So they have a really good team. Park Carlton out of Montgomery is 12-4. In 5A basketball, Ramsey is number 1 at 21-7. Greenville, who Charles Henderson will have to play, is number 9 in Class 5A. They're 16-8. Charles Henderson is 18-7, coming in at number 12, right behind Carroll Ozark,
Right.
number 11.
And we just beat them the other day.
Yeah. Did Charles Henderson just beat them? That makes no sense. 4A, let's see if we got any local teams of interest that are ranked in boys basketball. I don't see anybody local. And then in 3A, boys basketball state rankings, Ops. Man, Ops got a great team.
Real good.
16-1.
Yeah.
16-1 Ops this year. Pike County's 8-4. They're around 15. It looks like they're getting some bucks. And then in 2A, trying to see if there's any local teams. Calhoun, which is not too far away, with that great players, 12-7. Makes you wonder if they played a bunch of big schools. Geneva County's 17-3. I wonder if the great running back plays.
He does. He does. He scored over 30 the other night.
And then 1A basketball state rankings, Florala, which is not too far from me down here, about an hour away, 22-5. And let's see, Brantley, the Brantley Bulldogs, who have always been great in basketball, are 13-5 in Class 1A.
Yeah, they're in the same region or area. Those two.
Yeah. So the girls. Let's see where Charles Henderson is.
Number 2.
In 5A, they're number 2.
Right.
So Charles Henderson is 12-2. Central Tuscaloosa is 13-3.
Yeah.
So that's some rankings in girls and boys basketball.
Yeah. Well, look at GW Long. Aren't they like number undefeated, like number 3 or 5 in 1A? GW Long.
Yeah, let me pull it up.
Yeah, and
girls basketball, Montgomery Academy is 21-2, so they're having a great season. Trinity's good too, 16-4. 2A basketball, GW Long is 14-0.
Yep, 14-0. I knew they were very good.
They got an athletic program named it, I think.
And then in 1A, then in 1A girls basketball, no surprise here, Sampson's 20-3. But when did Sampson go to 1A?
I have no idea. I mean, I can't keep up with. This is the last year of classification, and I think what they would do. No, they have another year of the same classification. Then in the winter of next year or the early spring, they'll determine what classification you'll be in the next 2 years. So they have one more year in this classification, if I'm not mistaken. So Goshen will remain in 3A, Pike County will remain in 3A, Charles Henderson will remain in 5A, unless there's some drastic change within the rules.
So, where do you think these teams will be after a year? You think Charles Henderson will go to 4A, Pike County will stay at 3, and Goshen will go back to 2?
That would be my guess. You have there's just no telling. Charles Henderson I think Charles Henderson enrollment is one of the lowest in 5As. Goshen is one of the lowest in 3A, so that could be a possibility. And, of course, we talked about it again the other day. Will Pike Liberal Arts join the Alabama High School Athletic Association? And that's certainly up to them and their board, but there's pros and cons, I'm sure. But anyway, well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a short break. I want to thank our sponsors, especially Premier Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Troy, Alabama, Would like to thank Troy Bank and Trust. They have 14 locations. Birds Drugs, Cinco Drugs, Pawnstalker 2, and many, many more. And we'll be back in just a few minutes.
Our history is woven with the stories of those we serve. At Max, we've been a good community partner for 65 years. Max is dedicated to providing dependable financial services and to supporting our communities. We volunteer our time and share our resources. As a credit union, we've returned millions of dollars back to our members, local nonprofits, and small businesses. Max is honored to be a part of your story. We look forward to serving you for years to come.
Hi, Sandy. I'm right here. Come on in.
Eddie, I'm right here. Oh, Miss Mary, I'm right here. I'm right here.
Since 1969, we've been right here because at Troy Regional Medical Center, we take these words to heart.
I'm right here.
Thank you. Remarkable people, remarkable care.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Here at Bill Jackson Chevrolet in Troy, we've been doing business the right way for 31 years. But don't take our word for it. We feel our customers express it the best.
Been honest in everything we've discussed with them.
When they say Jackson Satisfaction, they really mean it.
The Jackson Satisfaction is real.
At the Piggly Wiggly, we proudly support our local farmers and bring you the best they have to offer, all at cost plus 10%. When you shop local, you reinvest in your community. Remember, buy local, shop local. Piggly Wiggly, local since forever.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We're back here live on Today in LA. I'm Forrest Lee, and on the phone with me are Mike and Michael Amos, and we've got a few trivia questions for them as it relates to the Super Bowl, and you may know some of these questions. And but of course, the Super Bowl was this Sunday. The Kansas City Chiefs will be playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's be the first time that a team has hosted the Super Bowl in their home stadium. It's Super Bowl 55, and I looked online this morning. You can get a ticket on, I believe it was StubHub, for about $4,000. They're going to allow 14,500 paid fans and 7,500 vaccinated healthcare workers.
Yeah, that's not a big crowd. 22,000. I mean, you'll definitely notice that.
Yeah, and each team will receive 108 Super Bowl balls, 54 for practice and 54 game balls each. So that each team's going to receive 108 footballs. Okay. All right. Mike, you with us?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay. What team has appeared in the most Super Bowls?
I'd say either Green Bay or the Pittsburgh Steelers.
The New England Patriots with 11. All right, who is second?
God, I can't believe I forgot all the Patriots.
Who's second with 8? You hit it.
Green Bay.
Pittsburgh with 8. All right, what two teams are tied with the most wins in Super Bowl victories?
I'm gonna say Green Bay and the Patriots.
The Patriots and New England, and the other one is the Pittsburgh Steelers.
They keep on getting off the Steelers.
All right, what two teams have the most losses in Super Bowl history?
Probably the Broncos or the Bills.
Broncos is one of them. Broncos is one of them.
The Bills lost 4, didn't they?
That's correct. The Broncos have lost 5. Let me give you a hint.
Number one would be what? Dallas?
Nope. This team has played in the most Super Bowls.
Okay, the Patriots.
Yeah, both. Yeah, the Patriots are 6-5 in the Super Bowl, and so the Broncos and Patriots have both lost 5 games. Name the 4 teams that have never played in the Super Bowl.
Never played in the Super Bowl? I say the Jaguars have never played in the Super Bowl.
That's correct.
Let's see. I don't know if the Lions have ever played in the Super Bowl. That might be right.
The who now?
Detroit Lions.
Detroit Lions is 2. We got 2 more.
And then I'll say, oh, this is a tough question. Golly. There's 2 more?
2 more.
Trying to think of more recent expansion teams. I know the Titans have played in one. I know Arizona's played in one. Golly. I'm trying to blank. Maybe the Chargers have played in one.
All right, I'm gonna give you a hint. One's in the Midwest. One's kind of in the South.
Kind of in the South. No, Atlanta played in the Super Bowl. They got beat by the Patriots 4 years ago. I'm just throwing a blank right. I know. No, Carolina's played one too.
Las Vegas. Not Las Vegas. They're the Raiders. They're the Raiders. Okay. Steve said Las Vegas. We're not counting them because they're the Raiders franchise.
I don't know. Have the Vikings played in the Super Bowl?
Yes, they have. Fran Tarkenton. All right, I'll give you a hint. One of the teams, one of their quarterbacks is wanting to fly the coop.
Oh, the Texans.
The Texans, and the other team is just made the playoffs for the first time in about 25 years. We're talking Super Bowl, not World Championships back in the 50s. The Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns. What?
Wow, that's a tough question.
Yeah. What city has hosted the most Super Bowls?
I'm going to say Los Angeles.
Mr. Mike?
What was the question now?
Who's hosted the? He's eating his toast. Who's hosted the most Super Bowls?
Either Miami or Los Angeles.
Miami. Okay. Tom Brady has won the most Super Bowls as a player with 6. What player has won the next most with 5?
Terry Bradshaw.
He's a defensive player. Bradshaw won 4. He's a defensive player. He played for the 49ers, and I believe he played for the Cowboys.
Charles Haley.
Charles Haley won 5. And Tom Brady has a chance to win 7. Okay. Who has had the largest Super Bowl ring ever made?
That'd be hard to do. Probably the Indianapolis Colts.
No, what player? He played for Clemson. He was Snaggletooth.
Wait, we had the biggest ring ever made?
Yeah, size 20.
Come on, you're talking about Refrigerator Perry.
That's right. He had size 25 made. Largest ring ever made for a Super Bowl champion. He played at Clemson. Okay. What was the coldest temperature for a game in the Super Bowl? What location? Kansas City beat Minnesota. It was in the South.
What was the temperature?
What was the coldest? The temperature was 39 degrees. It was in the South, but what stadium was it played in?
I guess they played in the Cotton Bowl in Dallas.
Tulane Stadium in New Orleans. They played at Tulane.
Tulane, yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, the most valuable player, who's won the MVP the most times with 4?
Brady.
Correct. Who's won it 3 times? He also was a quarterback.
Joe Montana.
Joe Montana. What player is the only player to win the Most Valuable Player award for a losing team?
For a losing team?
Yep, he played for the Dallas Cowboys when the Colts beat the Cowboys. He had 2 interceptions.
Roger Staubach?
No, he had 2 interceptions. He was a defensive player.
Huh.
Played for Dallas.
When they lost to the Colts.
Early. This is one early.
I'm going to say, Randy White.
Chuck Howley. Chuck Howley won the MVP.
He was a defensive lineman.
Well, he had 2 interceptions. Okay. Now, here is a tough question. Tom Brady will be the oldest player in the Super Bowl to play this Sunday. Until he takes the first snap, who is the oldest player to play in the Super Bowl? He was Matt Stover.
Oh, kicker?
Kicker. For who? He kicked for who?
Matt Stover kicked for, oh my goodness. Baltimore?
Baltimore Ravens. What college did he play at? Matt Stover.
My goodness. Iowa?
Louisiana Tech.
Louisiana Tech, of all people.
Okay. Now, my last question is Tom Brady has played in 9 Super Bowls so far. How many interceptions does Tom Brady have?
I'd say he has at least 12.
Mr. Mike?
I'm going to say 10.
Only 6.
Wow, that's really good.
Yeah. And, one of the keys, they said he can't throw 3. You said it yesterday, Michael, he can't throw 3 interceptions this week.
Yeah, I know it.
And,
the interceptions he was throwing, he was just kind of like throwing like a shot put. It was almost like throwing it away, but it could get out of bounds.
But I tell you what, he's the best that's ever played. The name not mentioned much is a great one before they started having the Super Bowl was Johnny Unitas, the great quarterback for the Baltimore Colts. And he was a great player.
Was that who Joe Namath beat? Wasn't he hurt?
No,
Joe
Namath beat
Earl Morrall.
His name was
Earl Morrall.
Earl Morrall.
Yeah, but I think Unitas was hurt.
Yeah, that's right. Unitas was hurt.
Right, hold on. Welcome to Today in L.A.
Sorry. Hung
Okay.
up on myself.
Right, hang on. Let's see. Do I have both of you?
You got me.
Good. We lost Michael there for a second.
Sorry about that.
Yeah,
we got some prop bets too on the game. Right now the line is 3-56. So that's probably where it's going to end up. I guess it's gone up to 3.5 in some places, but I would imagine it's just going to stay at 3.
All right. Well, Michael, do you want to change your score? You've got 34-31, Kansas City.
Yeah, I still think Kansas City is going to win. Let me check and look at some of these props for the game. Of course, there's everything that they're props. Chiefs score first, Buccaneers score first. It's one of those kind of things. Who has the first touchdown? It's just amazing how many different props. High scored quarter, two-point conversions. It's just how many receiving yards will players have, passing yards. There's probably like about 50 or 60 things.
Yeah, there's a way to bet on anything out there, no question.
All right, so right now,
I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to see some of the stats, like how many yards Mahomes is going to throw for, and Brady is going to throw for. But there's even commercials and stuff like that they place wagers on. It's just unbelievable.
So I got Michael, he picked 34-31, and I wrote down, Mr. Mike, you picked Kansas City 31-21. Do you want to change your score, Mr. Mike? Okay.
The oldest thing going against the youngest quarterback ever in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
And I'm going to take the young guy over the old guy.
Okay. Well, I'm still going to pick with Tampa Bay 31-30. And just to be kind of the devil's advocate. So, anyway. I really like both teams, but.
And I'll tell you this, the over-under looks good because both teams are going to try to have some kind of running game. And the over-under is 56. That's 56 total points. I think the game's going to go under. And under 55 is still a high figure.
Yeah.
So that's the way to go, is to go under.
Yeah.
Under the 56.
Yeah. Well, see, Mike, you have 52 points. Michael has 55, and I've got 61. Woo! As far as total.
How does that work?
Well, I don't know how it works, but, your total points was.
I've got the over-under for the game is 56. Is that right?
Right, but your total score is 52, 31-21.
Yeah, that's right.
And then Michael has a total score of 55, 34-31, and my total score is 61, 31-30 for Tampa Bay. But I just picked Tampa Bay to be picking Tampa Bay.
So Alabama basketball has made it to the number one line. They're one of the top 4 seeds right now.
That's great.
The season was the end right now. Unbelievable.
Well, that's going to be a big challenge when they go to Missouri. Missouri's number 18, playing it in Missouri. Missouri's playing well. And it'd be nice if Alabama could get everybody healthy. And that's exciting.
Here's the bubble right now. The last 4 in is Stanford, Maryland, Colorado State, and Seton Hall. The next 4 out, or the first 4 out, are Richmond, Virginia Commonwealth, St. Louis, Utah State. After that is Western Kentucky, St. John's, Pittsburgh, and Penn State. Some teams right there that are trying to get in. But pretty amazing if Alabama can continue this. But I would say their toughest game remaining on their schedule will be at Missouri this weekend.
Right. Well, they got to travel to Auburn, and that'll be a challenge, because Auburn will be,
they've already won at Auburn.
Oh, they have? I'm sorry.
Yeah. That was a great game. 4-9.
Will they play Auburn at home, or is that series over?
I can pull up the rest of their schedule.
Right.
Of course, we're still trying to figure out who Charles Nelson's football coach is going to be. Maybe we'll hear something next week. When do you think, Forrest?
It closes the 10th, which is, I believe, on a Wednesday. And that's the last day of deer season, by the way. And but the deer are running, because one collided into me Saturday evening on my way back from the chicken shack. I hit him just between Goshen and the Little Oak, on the Little Oak Road. And
Alabama's remaining basketball schedule is at Missouri on Saturday. Then Tuesday they'll be at South Carolina up in Columbia. South Carolina's not as good as they've been in the past. And then they'll be at home hosting Georgia on the 13th. Then they'll travel to College Station to play A&M on Wednesday the 17th. They'll host Vanderbilt after that. Travel to Fayetteville and play Arkansas. Will be right after that at Mississippi State. And then looks like their last game will be at home against Auburn on March the 2nd.
Okay.
SEC basketball tournament will start March the 11th up in Nashville, Tennessee.
Wow. And isn't the NCAA tournament going to be like a bubble in Indianapolis for the men?
Yeah. Everybody's going to have to be tested and be COVID-free for 7 days before the
tournament. Wow.
And there's a lot of coaches that have come out. It's a lot of coaches that have received a lot of flack about it. But some of these high-ranked teams are saying, why even compete in their conference tournament there's a chance my guys can get sick and not be able to play in the NCAA tournament.
I can
There's
see
a lot of programs out there complaining about, why do we need to risk this? We know we're in the NCAA tournament. These games mean nothing to us.
Yeah.
And then a lot of coaches are arguing back and forth that these guys are quitting, and you got to play every game that's on your schedule, and conference tournaments mean stuff. So I don't know what to do.
I could see that, and as it relates to basketball, LeBron James is pretty upset about the NBA wanting to have an all-star game, and but anyway, I could see that. If you just tabled your conference tournament, and then whoever's the best teams in the country at the end of the regular season, invite them and let's go play. But there again, they're probably looking at attendance. I'm wondering what the attendance would be like in those arenas. Probably not many, if any.
Well, in Nashville, they play where the Nashville Peppers play in downtown, right there on Music Row. It's where the SEC tournament would be played. But I would not think that Nashville would probably be opened up much. I don't know. You might be able to go to a few places around there, but
yeah,
I would imagine they would have to limit it to a couple of thousand fans.
Right. And you say you watch your team play.
And then the team that travels the most is Kentucky, and they're so down. I don't know if they would travel having such a poor season.
Yeah. And how much effort would they know they're going to be out. Well, they could play their way in. If they somehow win the tournament.
They've showed no signs of that though this year. I don't know if they've won even 2 or 3 in a row this year.
Well, they're 4-5, I believe, in the conference, and like 5-10 or something like that overall. I mean, they're awful. They're just having a bad year.
I want to mention that this show is brought to you by Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep and Ram Trucks on the bypass in Troy, Alabama. We're coming to you live on Facebook, across the country, across the world, right here on Troy Cablevision. We'll be back with more of Today in LA in just a moment.
Yes, we're going to take a short break. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back in just a minute.
Our history is woven with the stories of those we serve. At Max, we've been a good community partner for 65 years. Max is dedicated to providing dependable financial services and to supporting our communities. We volunteer our time and share our resources. As a credit union, we've returned millions of dollars back to our members, local nonprofits, and small businesses. Max is honored to be a part of your story. We look forward to serving you for years to come.
Hi, Sandy. I'm right here. Come on in.
Daddy, I'm right here. Miss Mary, I'm right here. I'm right here.
Since 1969, we've been right here because at Troy Regional Medical Center, we take these words to heart.
I'm right here. Thank you.
Remarkable people, remarkable care.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Here at Bill Jackson Chevrolet in Troy, we've been doing business the right way for 31 years. But don't take our word for it. We feel our customers express it the best.
Been honest in everything we've discussed with them.
When they say Jackson satisfaction, they really mean it.
The Jackson satisfaction is real.
At the Piggly Wiggly, we proudly support our local farmers and bring you the best they have to offer, all at cost plus 10%. When you shop local, you reinvest in your community. Remember, buy local, shop local. Piggly Wiggly, local since forever.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back live here on Today in LA. I'm Forrest Lee, and on the phone we have Mike and Michael from the great state of Florida. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Piggly Wiggly of Troy, Earl's Glass, located on South Brundage Street, if you have any needs with any glass problem or dents. We also want to thank Troy Bank and Trust. They have 14 locations to serve you in the surrounding area. Bill Jackson Chevrolet, located on the bypass here in Troy, Alabama. And of course, would like to also thank Premier Dodge, Jeep and Ram of Troy, Alabama, and Cinco Drugs. Welcome back, guys. Any other big news on the horizon coming up? Of course, we mentioned a little bit about Charles Henderson football, looking for a head football coach, and I expect there'll be a lot of applicants for that position. And
a lot of the colleges have used this opportunity, of course, a lot of, very important to get the recruiting over with. But they'll be, within the next month, they'll be starting spring practice at a lot of colleges.
They will. And, you look at it too, so will high school football. And spring training is right around the corner. And I don't know exactly what.
High schools do it a lot different than they used to. They now wait till all the spring sports are over with. Then they'll have about a week to 2 weeks of spring practice. A lot of coaches like it because they won't miss out on their spring sports.
That's correct. And a lot of coaches are advocates of their players or their students being in multiple sports. And
right.
It's
amazing, and it looks like it's going to come down to around a year that we've got had the virus looking at us straight in the eyes. But things are looking up as far as people getting shots by the virus.
Yes, I couldn't find any articles, updated articles today from the Messenger. I go to their website, and I'm bought a subscription to that. And Alabama.com, there was no new article as it related to COVID, other than some legislation that the lawmakers have passed in Montgomery about COVID relief, or COVID-related articles. One is they passed a law where institutions, businesses, and others cannot be sued because of this COVID-19 pandemic. Another one is about tax relief for businesses as it relates to COVID. But as far as numbers, I don't have any updated numbers today. I couldn't find any this morning when I looked it up.
One good thing is they're touting Johnson & Johnson has asked U.S. regulators Thursday to clear the world's first single-dose COVID-19 vaccine, an easier-to-use option that could boost scarce supplies right now.
Right.
Johnson & Johnson vaccine was safe and offered strong protection against moderate to severe COVID-19 according to preliminary results from a massive international study. So there could be a potential another shot out there that you would only have to take one time. I don't know when that's going to get approval, when that should be launched into the market.
Well,
if they can come out with a shot that will just a one-shot deal, they're going to take over this shot, the virus deal business.
Right. Well, one thing of good news, both Pike County schools and Troy City schools at this time are scheduled to go back to school this Monday. And the students who are doing virtual before they had to stop things will still continue virtual, but kids will be allowed to come back on campus for Troy City schools and Pike County schools this Monday. And that's because of the COVID risk has lowered in Pike County, and the number of cases in Pike County have lowered. And I would like to thank both superintendents, Dr. Mark Bazell and Miss Cynthia Thomas, for their leadership. There's some tough decisions that they've had to make that they've never had to make before as it relates to this pandemic. And, it's not a tough decision, and I'm certainly not going to second. I mean, they're doing the best. They're doing what they feel like is the best for their students' safety and the teachers' safety here in Pike County. And
no question about it.
That's some good news. And, in sports right now in high school are continuing on. Football had a tremendous year.
They we've already got a list of the top 20 players in the state of Alabama for 2022, if you want to hear any of those.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to hear it. First of all, though, before we do that, these coaches do not matter with them how cold it is. I saw both of them, Charles Anderson softball and baseball teams practice baseball in freezing conditions yesterday.
Yeah, Pike Lamar's practiced too. What you got there, Mike? Who are the top players to watch for next year in Alabama? Henderson's probably one of them.
Number 20 is T.J. Banks, defensive back out of Fairhope. He has gotten offers from Tennessee and Auburn. After that, you've got Darrell Williams, wide receiver out of Saraland, 6'3", 185. He's got offers from Florida State, Iowa, Notre Dame, Tennessee, Northwestern, Kansas, Kansas State, Kentucky, and West Virginia. After that is a quarterback out of Clay Chalkville. So Adam Helms for Troy, I guess, knows him very well. His name is Caleb Johnson, 6'2", 200-pound quarterback out of Clay Chalkville. He comes in at number 18. He's got offers from Virginia Tech, Toledo, Louisville, Utah State, Kansas, Tulane, and South Florida. After that, you got a defensive back out of Opelika High School, 5'10", 160 pounds. He is committed to Auburn, Darrell Stinson. These are your top players.
You're not very big.
These are the top players for the 2022 signing class in the state of Alabama. Pike Road had a great team, and apparently they have a great running back. A guy named Bushawn Junkins, running back, Pike Road, is 6 foot, 195 pounds. He's got offers from Arkansas, Auburn, Florida, Florida State, Georgia Tech, Miami, Michigan, Nebraska, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Virginia. So remember that name for next year, Sean Junkins.
No Alabama. He went to Sean to Alabama. Sean.
Big offensive tackle out of Beauregard, Easton Harris Jr., 6'6", 275, has offers from Arkansas, Auburn, Florida State, Georgia, Georgia Tech, Iowa, Miami, Nebraska, and Oregon. And number 14 on the list, wide receiver athlete, Hewitt Trustful, Omar Kelly, 6 foot, 180, uncommitted, has offers from Alabama, Arizona State, Arkansas, Auburn, Florida State, Georgia Tech, LSU, Michigan, Oklahoma. Alabama's got a lot of kids out of that Trustful area. I wouldn't be surprised if he'll go to Alabama. And then this is an interesting name here. Caden Story, his brother Christian Story, was a quarterback at Lynette a couple years ago when they won the state championship, and they ended up signing with Alabama. So Caden Story plays for Lynette.
I want to say he was Mr. Football.
So his brother Caden Story plays for Lynette, and he'll be part of that 2022 signing class. He is 6'4", 260-pound defensive end.
Wow.
Out of Lynette. He's got offers from everybody, Auburn, Alabama, Tennessee.
They got all of their, let me tell you this, they had a disaster in their field house. Their field house.
They did. Burnt down, yeah.
And burned up all of their football equipment.
Yep.
And then this guy was the quarterback for the state championship Thompson team. He got hurt in the game. Connor Harrell, quarterback at Thompson. Of course, Thompson's got a tremendous program now. He's got offers from Tennessee, Tulane, and Southern Miss. Maybe Troy could get in on this kid. He's number 12 in the list. Number 11 is Lucas Taylor. He played with Evan Schultz at St. Paul's. He's 6'4", 314 pounds out of St. Paul's. He's already committed to LSU.
Wow.
So LSU's got a good one coming out of the state of Alabama. And then this kid has a familiar name, Riley Quick, defensive lineman, offensive lineman out of Hewitt Trustful. His brother is already at Alabama as an offensive lineman, 6'5", 255 pounds. He's got offers from Alabama, Arizona State, Arkansas, Auburn, Florida State. You would have to think he'll probably go to Alabama. And this is the kid we mentioned yesterday out of Gordo. His name's Tanner Bailey, 6'1", 190 pounds. He's getting offers from everybody, Alabama, Auburn, Florida State, Georgia, LSU, Miami, Michigan, Oregon, Vanderbilt, South Carolina, Georgia Tech. He missed half the regular season with a broken collarbone, but still threw for 2,500 yards and 32 touchdowns. Pretty impressive.
Wow.
What is his name again?
Bailey. His name is Tanner Bailey out of Gordo.
Okay. a small school, though. That is a small school, but I would think he's one of Alabama, on Alabama's list.
Well, his dad played at Auburn and his granddad played at Alabama.
Oh boy. And,
so this is an interesting name here. You know, we talked about Montgomery Catholic being so good last year. So they have an unbelievable linebacker named T.J. Dudley, linebacker at Montgomery Catholic, 6'2", 210 pounds. He's got offers from Alabama, Auburn, Clemson, Florida State, LSU, Oregon, and Penn State.
Boy, he's
6'2", 210.
After that, number 7 is an athlete out of Faith Academy, Shamar James, 6'3", 200-pound wide receiver quarterback. He's got offers from Alabama, Auburn, Tennessee, Florida, Florida State, LSU. You know, it's Alabama only offers when these guys get in the top 12. After that, you got a guy named, Hewitt Trussell must be loaded. Justice Finkley. How do they not win state championships? Defensive lineman Hewitt Trussell, 6'2", 270. He's got offers from Alabama, Auburn, Florida, Florida State, LSU, Michigan. So that's your number 6 guy. This is the 2022 top commit players out of the state of Alabama. After that, you got a kid from Park Crossing named Curtis Perry, 6'2", 255-pound defensive lineman out of Park Crossing in Montgomery. Got offers from Alabama, Auburn, Florida, Georgia, LSU, Michigan. Number 4 on the list is another kid out of Oxford. What a program Oxford has over there near Anniston. Jaquan Fagans, defensive back out of Oxford. He's got offers 6'2", 180. Got offers from Alabama, Auburn, Florida, Florida State, the usual names. Number 3 on the list.
Hey, Michael, I imagine anybody from Oxford will not go to Tennessee, you know, because Tennessee dropped that. Yeah, so Tennessee probably don't even need to darken the doors.
Out of Williamson High School, Charles Anderson played Williamson a few times. 6'2", 225-pound linebacker Robert Woodyard is already committed to Alabama. He made 140 tackles last year. He's number 3 on the list. And then this guy we talk about a lot. Number 2, Emmanuel Henderson, running back, Geneva County. He's got offers from Auburn, Alabama, Georgia, Clemson, Notre Dame, Oklahoma, USC. He rushed for 1,500 yards and 20 touchdowns, even though he missed 4 games last year. And then the number 1 player in the state is out of Thompson, Jeremiah Alexander, linebacker, Thompson High School, 6'2", 240. Interesting news here. He originally committed to Alabama, but decommitted in October. Narrowed his list back now to Alabama, Auburn, Florida, LSU, Tennessee, and Georgia. Also received a recent offer from Clemson. So that's your top player in the state who decommitted from Alabama, which is very strange to hear, considering Alabama just won the national championship.
That's right. That's amazing. That's good information, Mike. Now, these are kids that will have one more year of high school before they're recruited.
That's right. Yeah, these are the top players in the state of Alabama for 2022.
I wonder who do we have locally that might be in the top 100. Have they released anything like that on any of the recruiting services? Do we have anybody, say, in our listening area, say Brantley?
Well, they got other players to watch on this list, but nobody's local.
Okay.
Yeah. I was surprised. There's actually another kid from Catholic in Montgomery that's right outside the list.
Then,
well, that was.
It's amazing. It's amazing the talent out there.
Well, a lot of that is in that one region. You said Hewitt, Trussville. Is Clay Chalkville in the same region, in Pinson Valley?
Yeah, you know what's interesting is you don't hear Hoover anymore. You know, Hoover's kind of falling back a little bit.
You know what? You're exactly right. You didn't even call out Hoover a time, I don't believe.
I don't think so.
No, you didn't. Actually, you know, it's funny, you know, does Niblett ever get just tired of high school and want to get into coaching in college? I think he'd be a great college coach.
Yeah. Talk about Josh Niblett. Of course, his dad, John Niblett, used to be the head coach at South Montgomery Academy when they won the state championship years ago. And he was a little boy running around.
Yeah, I met him before with you. He played at Jacksonville State.
His dad did. His dad did years ago. And, of course, his dad's a real Grant's pretty good.
Yep.
Wayne Grant was very good.
He's still coaching.
Yeah, still coaching at Crenshaw.
And another thing about Wayne Grant is teaching is as important as coaching. I mean, he's a great teacher in the biology departments of every school he's ever been in. He's a super teacher.
One of them Grant boys from down there, right around Henderson and Dugan area, that's where they grew up. And
of course, they could have gone to Goshen just as easy as they could have gone
well, some of them ended up at Zion Chapel, but some of them boys, I believe, did graduate at Goshen. But I think some of them ended up graduating at Zion Chapel as far as high school goes. And one thing about Wayne and
it's kind of weird in Crenshaw County. Don't you have like 4? Well, you don't have it anymore. But at one time you had Dozier, Brantley, Luverne, and Holland Home. You had all 4 schools in that county at one time.
You did.
You're right.
You did.
You're exactly right, Mike.
And pound for pound, Dozier was one of the toughest teams.
It's a small county.
It's kind of long, but Dozier, pound for pound, was pretty.
You hit on the spot there. Of course, look at the players that come out of there. You always wonder where they come. Well, they come out of Luverne, they come out of Highland Home, they come out of Brantley, and those are pretty good programs. And of course, there's no longer a high school down in let's see, what's the name of it?
Dozier.
Dozier. No longer a team in Dozier.
And the thing with Holland Home, it borders right on Montgomery County. So I wonder if they can get some of those Montgomery County kids in. I don't know how it works.
I'm sure they probably have a different address, but I'm sure Highland Home has to recruit a little bit down there, and they're a good program.
Luverne, had Dante Hall, the basketball player that played at Alabama, and then of course he made it, into the NBA. He played last year. I think now he's back in the development league, but. Troy had the great player out of Holland Home.
Lamaine Wilson.
He was a big, tall guy.
Lamaine Wilson.
He's got to go down as one of the top, 15 players ever to play at Troy. He was a great player.
Yeah, is he still in the European League?
Yeah, Lamaine Wilson. You had his wife on the show. You remember you showed videos of Lamaine Wilson? He played in Europe for about 15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
He played at Troy. He was a big 6'9", 6'8" guy that could really shoot the 3.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Well, they had
he played for Maestri and Felix probably in the early 2000s.
Yeah. Of course, locally, there's been some great ones, to play right here in Troy, and I can remember a Carter guy, running back that had played at Troy. He was about as talented as anybody, and came out of a small school.
Who you got? Jonathan Carter? Jonathan Carter. Yeah, he played at Lineville, didn't he?
I believe that's correct.
And of course, with the deal the way it is now, you don't know how long you'll have what players this new rule. And tell us about that rule, Mike.
It's called transfer portal.
Yeah, the transfer deal is going to change everything there is about recruiting.
Yeah, but the only problem is these guys each have a chance to come back and replay their senior year. So I mean, do you have a spot for certain guys? Can teams really have numbers wise add too many guys? I mean,
yeah, wait.
I think you saw Troy adding one more player.
Yeah, one thing is that we mentioned yesterday is there's a threshold of 85, and you can sign more or keep more. But a lot of high school players were not signed because these colleges they're still looking at the transfer portal, and those kids have been in a college setting for 1 or more years who are more physically ready than a high school player. So they're holding their scholarships to them, for them, still trying to get those players. And then some schools cannot afford any more scholarships than what they can offer. But, you know, the bigger schools, some of them are holding off still signing high school kids so they can have the top picks of what's left in the transfer portal, which are still a lot of players available.
And then think about all these junior college kids. Mississippi Junior College just didn't even play this year.
Right.
So they have no film on those guys.
Yeah,
it's going to be a can of worms. So many times the recruiting is going to turn out to be who was the last guy they talked to. You know?
Well, look at high school baseball. It stopped last year. Well, they didn't get a chance to see those players, so, you know, the opportunities for kids to go to the junior college level or to a community college are probably limited because their rosters are still full too.
Yeah.
And
you're exactly right.
Same thing for Troy University baseball. Those guys stayed, but Troy may not can afford to pick anybody else up except one here, one there that they know were on the radar ahead of time. So,
I'm going to try to have the Troy athletic director on our show next week sometime to let him explain what is happening there because, I mean, like I mentioned, it seems like it could go down to the last school they talk to on where they go. You know what I mean? It's just like that.
And I don't know what there is a date that you cannot enter the transfer portal, but I think it might be the 1st of July. I read it one time, but I didn't write it down. But there's a cutoff for this year. There's a cutoff for this year.
I want to say that deadline's already passed, but I'm not sure. Hey, I've got to take my little ones to school, but I want to wish her a fun and happy weekend. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Dad and Forrest will finish all up, but I'll talk to y'all on Monday.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen,
Give us your last pick. Who do you
I'm
like?
still leading Kansas City. I think it's going to win a close game by 3 or 4 points, I believe. But I hope the Troy Trojans finally break that streak against Georgia Southern tonight basketball. So good luck to Coach Cross and the players tonight. I'll talk to you on Monday.
all right, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank our sponsors. We're going to take a short break, but we'd like to thank the Southeast Alabama Gas District for being our sponsor. Also, Sisters Restaurant. Go to Sisters and have your great meal today. They open up at 10:30. Some of the best food in America.
No Sunday
No.
buffet at Sisters.
Yeah, no Saturday. They're not open Saturday or Sunday. We'd like to thank Road Mart, located on US 231. They have a lot of great deals out there. Get your tires, Jeans, Flowers of Troy. Order your Valentine flowers early. We've got about 9 days left. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back in just a moment.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Trojan Auto Parts of Troy, home of Napa Know-How. Stop by and see owners Mike and Melissa Kilcrease and their Napa Know-How team with over 100 years of combined experience. We're the only locally owned parts store in Pike County, and we're fully stocked and ready to serve you. We pride ourselves on being your go-to parts store, not only for the simple items, but we specialize in those hard-to-find items as well. Trojan Auto Parts, the right part at the right price at the right time. Napa, a name you've trusted here in Troy since 1945.
Troy Cable Security Wi-Fi doorbell camera allows you to answer the door from your smartphone when you are at home, at work, or on the go. When a visitor presses the button, Troy Cable Security sends a live video feed to your smartphone, so you can see, hear, and speak to the person at your door. With the doorbell camera, you can have your porch light turn on automatically when it detects motion at night to create the appearance that someone is at home. You can view video clips so you can always know who stopped by when you were out. Troy Cable Security. You love them, protect them.
Hi, Sandy. I'm right here. Come on in.
Eddie, I'm right here. Miss Mary, I'm right here. right here.
Since 1969, we've been right here because at Troy Regional Medical Center, we take these words to heart.
I'm right here. Thank you.
Remarkable people, remarkable care.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back live here on Today in LA. Thank you for joining us this morning. Our show will be rebroadcast at 1:30. I'm Forrest Lee, and on the phone we have Mike Amos, the show's originator. And good morning, Mike. And high school baseball, for those of you who are interested in it, is right around the corner. Charles Henderson High School will host George W. Long on Saturday, February the 13th. So that's next weekend. They will play a doubleheader starting at 11:30, and I believe that will be in Hogan's Hole. Pike Liberal Arts is excited about their season as well. Of course, Charles Henderson's under the direction of new head coach and Charles Henderson alum, Troy baseball alum, Chase Smart.
It's ironic that they're playing one of the most prolific baseball programs in Alabama in G.W. Long. That's going to be a great game. I could see a couple of thousand people watching that game.
Well, I don't know what the attendance will be. They have not released that, but I'm sure that will be, that's pretty good size stadium, so they should be able to get the fans in there that want to attend. But Pike Liberal Arts will open up their season on February the 19th in the Edgewood Academy tournament. I do not know who they play, but they will be in the Edgewood tournament. Pike Liberal Arts will on February the 19th. And Goshen will open their season against Daleville on March the 3rd. But, it's exciting to be able to start a new sport. I know those guys have been chomping at the bit because their season was short-lived last year. And, of course, for Pike Liberal Arts, they're under a new coach, Rush Hickson. And is it Rush or Ross? It's one of the Hickson boys. But anyway, Pike Lib was on the verge of possibly winning their third in a row last year, but it got tabled. So they have a strong team. I know they're excited about starting play. And, of course, basketball season is that time of year. As far as the area tournaments are concerned, if you win it or a runner-up, you advance to the next round. Then it's lose, you go home. Win, you continue.
Now, let me ask this. Now, some of these guys could be double dipping. There could be a situation here where they're playing baseball and baseball and basketball at the same time.
Right. When basketball season's over with, hopefully after everybody wins a state championship in basketball, then, hey, go to the next sport. Go to baseball. Go to track. Go to golf.
That's right.
Whatever. And stay involved, do something else. I mean, there's all, I love playing anything at Goshen if it was the season. But I think for your student body, if you can get them involved in music, band, choral, athletics, be involved in 2 or 3 or multiple sports, because you'll be an all-around person. Don't just specialize in one sport, in my opinion.
Yeah,
but anyway.
That's right. And the same thing, somebody told me recently that there's a push to enlarge the size of the Charles Henderson Blue Machine Marching Band. And I'm all for that. Anything that a kid can get involved in and enjoy, that's what I want to see.
Right. When I was in like the 7th grade, I wanted to learn an instrument, but they couldn't schedule me for some reason. They wouldn't. I couldn't do it, and I was kind of upset because I wanted to learn to play something.
Yeah, you wanted to play the tuba, didn't you?
No, I didn't want no tuba. Maybe the trumpet. Now I'd love to know how to play the saxophone, but.
And I could see you playing a trumpet too.
Maybe that, but. I need to learn the harmonica, and my dad could play the harmonica. But there's
you play the harmonica as part of your music group that you were in.
Well, hey, Mike, guess what? For those of you, today is Wear Red Day. I've got a red bandana in my pocket. Right now I'm going to put on my Blues Brothers glasses and my Blues Brothers hat. It's got a little red feather in the side. But he's talking about the Blues Brothers. But the other guy, Elwood, he was the harmonica player. And but the harmonica, when we got on stage, he had the briefcase, and I unlocked it, and he got out the harmonica. That's what was inside the briefcase. Well, we used to do that.
Now, let me ask this, right at the tail end of our show, can you play the harmonica or sing the song that y'all made famous?
Well, we used to sing Hey Bartender and Soul Man. I'm a soul man. But I need the music. And one of my favorite was Sweet Home Chicago.
Sweet Home Chicago.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
Let's see. Sweet Home Chicago. 1 and 1 is 2. 6 and 2 is 8. Come on, baby, don't you wait late. Heidi, hey. Baby, don't you wanna go back to that same old... Yeah, there was another one going back to Miami. There was another one, rolling. Keep them doggies rolling, rawhide, rain and wind and weather. Hell bent for leather, wishing my gal was by my side. All good things are missing. Anyway, but
I wish you a happy Super Bowl weekend, and of course it's a big weekend.
Yeah, we got
the only thing I don't like about it, Forrest, is it's so much hype. It is just so much hype.
Right, I like just watching the play now. There's too much hype, and sometimes the halftime show is a little bit much for me. But there's a wonderful article that I read this morning on Alabama.com about Tua Tagovailoa, who played at Alabama. Well, he has developed the Tua Foundation, and his first donation benefited the Big Oak Plantation, or the Big Oak home ranch for abused, abandoned, and neglected children. And, of course, that was started by John David Kroll, who played at Alabama. He started in 1974. But their motto is to give a solid Christian home and for those kids to have a chance to fulfill God's plan for their lives. Now, there's one located in Gadsden, the Big Oaks Boys Ranch. There's one in Springville for girls. It's called the Big Oaks Girls Ranch. There's also a Big Oaks Cattle Ranch as well. Well, the executive director of that is Brody Kroll, his son, who also played quarterback at Alabama, and he was quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs for a short period of time. But and you know more about John David Kroll than I do, but he was a big old fella, 6'6", grew up.
He was a great player. He was a great player at Alabama. Yeah.
But some of the things that he did, he at age 19, he went to the Kings Arrow Ranch in Lumberton, Mississippi, when he was 19 years of age one summer, and worked at that camp, and that inspired his life. Well, he went to Coach Bryant and asked Coach Bryant for some advice about his future, and Coach Bryant said, son, unless you want to marry pro football, don't do it, unless you want to marry pro football. So what he did, he decided to follow this path of developing a place for abused or neglected or abandoned children. And the Alabama Alumni Association gave him $5,000. Then a Birmingham booster gave him $15,000. John Hanna, his signing bonus of $30,000, he gave to John Kroll to establish this ranch, and then it opened. Well, some of the houses named, there's the John Hanna house that they built to house kids and their sponsor or their supervisor. There's the Paul Bryant house. There's the Galen McCullough house. And there's the Ray
Enterprise, Alabama.
And there's the Ray Perkins house. So Tua Tagovailoa is now, he's donating to these ranches or these places for abused and neglected kids. And he's also putting his efforts in the state of Alabama, Florida, and his home state of Hawaii. So that's a wonderful thing that Tua Tagovailoa is doing for, to reach others, to give back to others.
Of course, I believe, of course, we hope that everybody has a great Super Bowl weekend. What are you going to do, Bart?
Well, I'm on my Goodwill tour. I'm going to do something today for somebody. I don't know what it is just yet. Hang around the house a little bit tomorrow. Do a little bit of woodworking possibly, and Sunday.
Have a great weekend.
Yeah, Sunday.
Get ready for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, get ready for the Super Bowl. I'm kind of pulling. I like both teams, but I've always been a Pittsburgh. No, so we got about 2 more minutes. We got about 2 more minutes.
Good.
But I've always been an Oakland Raider fan, or a Raider fan and a Steeler fan. But there's some teams that I like, and of course Kansas City. I kind of like them. I like Tampa Bay's okay, and some of their players, and I'm excited for high school, that schools in this area, Brantley Enterprise, all those that are going to the basketball area championships and playoffs. Good luck to them, and baseball season. There's a lot to do this weekend. You can go watch Troy play basketball tonight. Of course,
it'll be a lot of fun. Yeah.
I believe I was told Charles Citizen will be able to allow 190 fans in their stadium when they host Andalusia, and the girls when they host the same number. And to get a ticket to go in that game, you got to go to the website gofan.co, gofan.co. The tickets may be available now, but that's the website you go to buy a ticket. Put it on your cell phone, and then when you enter the gate, you show them where you bought it, and there's another thing that you have to hit, and it accepts.
Well, have a great weekend, Boris.
Okay.
Go, Kansas City.
All right, he's for Kansas City. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in today to the Mike Amos Show. Today in L.A., we'll rebroadcast at 1:30. We want to thank all our sponsors. We hope you have a great weekend. Do something for others, and we'll see you bright and early Monday morning on Today in L.A. with Mike Amos.